tell us when they approach these stations, shoot them and you'll defend us. I'm telling you the whole truth, you are a liar. You have lied. You will not protect me. All that you will protect it is your interest. You will not protect me. I will be sacrificed in court before a judge and I will be sentenced to prison. What happened to Katito? He was sung as a hero. But finally, the determination of the court came out. You are not justifiable to kill even a criminal. What are you supposed to do? If you are within the late positions of arrest, present that person before the court of law. I say no to police brutality. I say no more to killings. I can't kill my brother. I can't kill my sister. You are saying this because your children are not on the streets, right? You are saying this because your cousins are not on the streets. You are saying this because your brother or your sister is not on the street. You are saying this that they should be killed when they approach those stations where they are supposed to be protected, because there is nobody of your family who will be on those streets. I am very sorry, Kenyans. If these are the kind of readers we have, then I believe we have a problem of incompetency. We are very sorry about that. How will I go back to my children and tell them their mother is normal, or their father is normal, or their cousin is normal? It's because they were shot dead demonstrating and asking the government to hear their cry. Kenyans, we love you. Every OCS and every OSPD and ever we are, have seen people doing great work. Please, if they approach our gates, let...
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Oh, lots of interesting things happening. And I'm going to try to pick out a few that I think are noteworthy. Not because you have to know all the news, but we have to know the news that is going to affect us directly. Yes, the war in Ukraine is going to affect us. But the effects of that war is like the canvas that all of these things are being written on. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're making a painting of a landscape, you put in trees, bushes, houses, the sky, the sun maybe. All of these things are part of the landscape, right? But the earth itself is what you painting a picture of. And you begin with the earth, and then you're putting all these things on it. So that war, that war is a continuation of all the other wars. It's not in the vacuum. You have to go back and see where the beginning of that war is. And it's way back. It goes back to even past Napoleon. Because he wasn't the first to invade Russia. People don't realize that America and Britain invaded Russia before. But that's the beginning of these wars. And we are continuing to see what part of the picture you see in Africa being painted. You know, you got Russia in one corner, you know, or the photo you're looking at here in this video On the walls are different murals, photographs, and even a draft board is painted down here where my pointer is at. See? And all of these, you see, that's African art. That's an old lamp from the past. You see, all these things help to make up the picture that we are looking at in the world today. So that's what I'm saying. I have to choose what is pertinent to us as African people of African heritage. Anyway, let's get into this.
To the US-Africa Business Summit.
Donald Trump has angered Liberians after he asked the president of the Anglophone country where he learned to speak English so beautifully. Joseph Boakai was one of 5 African leaders hosted at the White House. English is the official language of Liberia, which was founded in 1822 as a colony to resettle freed slaves from America.
Listen to this now. This Caucasian woman knows the history. And Trump is pretending he don't know it.
In the region, because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much.
And all the people who invited these Africans to the summit, I'm sure they briefed Trump
Where did you learn to speak
on whatever is needed.
Where were you educated? Where? Yes, sir. In Liberia? Yes, sir. Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English. Sure. I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Donald Trump just reminded the world that he has the cultural awareness of a potato. At a White House lunch with African leaders today, Trump decided to compliment Liberia's President Joseph Boakai on his beautiful English. Then Trump asked him 3 times where he possibly could have learned such good English. Spoiler alert, English is literally Liberia's official language. The country was founded by free and formerly enslaved Black Americans. It's been independent since 1847, about 170 years before Trump figured out how to read a teleprompter. But Trump couldn't let it go. Where, he pressed, were you educated? And Boakai, I'm probably not saying his name correctly, who once walked 300 miles to get an education, politely humored Trump instead of flipping the damn table on him. This is also the guy who once complained he couldn't understand an Indian reporter speaking English, so naturally Trump asked for a translator. Because after all, why learn about the world when you can just be the loudest guy in the room? A great nation deserves the truth. That's why I'm John Arvosis reporting from Washington.
You know,
It's not that Trump doesn't know it. He was briefed on all these people. You see this thing that... Go back and look at the video with Trump talking. If you go back and look at some of the videos you're seeing online, if I have the time, I'll add some. You'll see that in this video, with all the presidents that were in attendance in that White House meeting, they were all sitting with their backs to the camera, and a lot of people noted it in their videos. Insult. The next insult is that all of these presidents, including this man from Nigeria, I mean, not Nigeria, Liberia. Sorry, Nigeria. Liberia. He saw Trump bring, well, that fellow from South Africa, I don't even want to call his name, bring himself to the White House with this Afrikaner backup and Jewish DA backup. Listen to me now. Zionist DA backup for him. So they can explain to the president what's going on in South Africa. Everybody's wondering, well, why did Ramaphosa go and why did he take these Caucasian people? Oh, he took them along so they could speak for him. That's why he immediately, when Trump started talking, called one of them up and said, hey, he can tell you what's going on in South Africa. But we are drifting off. All of these African presidents saw what happened to Ramaphosa at the White House. They saw what happened to Zelensky at the White House. They saw what happened to the German. Trump insulted all of them because that's what Trump is. Trump tried to put you in an uncomfortable position. And these African leaders go put themselves in it instead of saying, sorry, Mr. Trump, but we are a little bit busy at the moment. A lot of things are happening in Africa, in my country, including your tariffs that being strangling our people. They could have said that, but they didn't. They wanted to go to the White House and see how much money they can get to put in their own pocket. The deal. That's what you see. When you see one go, 50 goes. And the other, I guess it's 54 now. So let's figure 49 of them are now sitting at home smiling to themselves. I'm glad we didn't go. I'm glad I didn't go. Look what's happening to these fools. You see, we weren't invited, and they went without us, and now they're getting embarrassed. That's what the other African leaders are thinking right now. That's the way it is. You gotta know how Africans think. That's how the leadership thinks in Africa. The other thing is, Trump is not stupid. He picked the weakest link. You see all those who are silent about what ECOWAS is doing, what the AU is doing, what's happening around the world. If you look through all the videos that are made on YouTube, all the press conferences and everything, you'll see that these five were silent with everything happening. Silent. The other thing is, Trump knows exactly what you have in your country. Before they were chosen, he knew what language you speak. He probably knows how many children the president got, how many mistresses they have, what are their shortcomings, mean that they run around in the village, you know, how many village wives they have. He knows all of that. Somebody briefed him on all of that. And some of the briefings he got were made by Israelis. Israeli agents now. Because one at the table with the every one of those presidents. When he sits down to eat at night, somebody in his house. But I'm going too far now. Trump knew whatever they had for sale and how easy it would be to get them to sell it. They all think well, anyway, let's continue.
Just responded, and we thought he didn't notice, you know, but I don't know if they noticed, but I just want to thank everybody on this platform for giving their reaction. You don't know how much the comments you are going to pass in the comment section, you don't know it's going to touch. I saw some of our videos on big platforms today and I was very, very surprised, you know. So you guys are doing so much. All in all,
See, he mentioned that he saw his videos on big platforms. Africans are beginning to get involved in this conversation about what's going on around the world and how is it affecting Africa. It started with diasporans. We started to talk, and it made them uncomfortable. I don't know if you know about Woody Meyer. Woody Meyer took a whole tour of South America and the Caribbean. Why? Why? And it's not only Woody Meyer. Who are these people in the diaspora? How can they talk about us in Africa? Who are these people in African American community that talk about Africa? Go find out. Go find out about our well, they call us brothers now, in the diaspora, especially those in the Caribbean and in South America. Some come and express shock. Some go in and say, hey, I'm in the most dangerous part of Kingston, following this white, big mouth white guy. That's not what he does. That's how he make a living. He goes to the worst parts of what he hears are the worst parts of every island or community in South America and the Caribbean and in Africa. And they follow him. But anyway, he said he's surprised to see his videos and what he talk about on other platforms. He shouldn't be. We were waiting for you to start talking, Africans. It's beginning to happen.
Just have to say, your reactions as Africans is really, really, really very important. It doesn't matter where you come from, home or in diaspora, like you all are one. You know, when it comes to us, you know, chastising these guys, you know, I mean, we're doing it for the betterment of Africa. And the president of Liberia has finally responded. And I feel like, you know, I'm respecting Bashiru. The president was saying he got to give his own response next, or else maybe I would just have to help myself believe that he's a certified, you know, puppet. But ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to what the president of Liberia just said in regards to the treatment he got from the United States president. Let's watch this video.
Yesterday's exchange with Trump shocked and angered me. I never thought I would be insulted like this in an international setting. I understand his arrogance. He impatiently asked for speed up many times in the meeting, but he pretended to be surprised, even though he knew that English is our official language. Discrimination and prejudice against our country is too great. Seems to have tacitly agreed that African countries should not have language skills.
Why is he surprised? Please explain to me, why is he surprised? England, France, Germany, America, they've all been like that towards African people. And if you can tell he has not been watching what's going on with us from the Caribbean, his so-called brothers. Us from North America, his so-called brothers. Us from South and Central America, his so-called brothers. He is not even aware of how we've been treated. He is not aware of how Africans are treated by the same people that he was sitting down at the table with. You see how ignorant? Don't let me insult him. Let's go on and let him insult himself.
And that we should not have development. But he was disappointed. We have our own long history and culture. We receive education on our own land. and master the official language of English. This is normal, but Trump, as a leader of a country, deliberately repeated praise to me with a racially prejudiced attitude. The sarcastic tone and ignorant sense of superiority made me feel extremely disgusted. This is too arrogant. I believe that if Trump cannot learn to respect every country, he will sooner or later become an international laughingstock.
So in my own opinion, I believe that he might have not felt so good about,
You said Trump might become an international laughingstock. Already the world is laughing. So he's not becoming, he is.
the treatment, but personally, I do feel like he might have not had the cojones to respond. But I feel like when some of these guys come across the global reaction to what they just went through, maybe that was what gave him enough cojones and enough marbles to be like, you know what, I'm going to respond to this. So that is why we are out here to, if the representative of Africa cannot defend himself, sometimes this reaction is something, left to him. I believe that he might have sucked it all up. Ladies and gentlemen, personally, I still feel like he has not given the right response.
Exactly. You see, even Africans are beginning to wake up. I shouldn't say even Africans. They knew what was going on, but they didn't speak about it. They just let it go on. It's only now that they're waking up and saying, hey, we got to talk about these things. We got to do something about this.
Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal.
And Gabon.
So the heads of state of all these countries were present yesterday at Washington, D.C. I think these countries have 2 million, 3 million, 2 million. It's only Liberia that has like 5 million. Then Senegal has about 18 million population. So all the heads of states were there yesterday. So during conversation, be like Donald Trump talked something and the whole continent of Africa is not happy with the statement that he made. People think he's just passing a comment. But people are also saying that as a president, you should know.
To encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia. We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
So it's like,
You had such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where? In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Very
And
good, sir.
they come from here. So thank you very much.
Are you listening to this, President? Yes, sir, Master. Yes, sir, Master. Yes, sir, Master. We want you to come and invest. Didn't we hear that from the president of Ghana before?
White House on Wednesday, Donald Trump praised the president of Liberia for his, quote, good English, even though English is the official language of Liberia.
In yet another jaw-dropping moment that's reigniting accusations of insensitivity and ignorance, U.S. President Donald Trump has set off a firestorm across Africa after asking a seemingly tone-deaf question to the president of Liberia, Joseph Boakai, during a surprise summit with 5 African leaders at the White House. The exchange occurred after President Boakai had just made a compelling pitch about expanding African investment opportunities in America. Just as the Liberian leader concluded his remarks, Trump turned to him and, with a smile, praised his command of English. Asking where Boakai had learned to speak so well, Trump further joked that it was very interesting that President Boakai had such a great command of the English language, given that there were Americans at the table who didn't speak nearly as well. Here's the full exchange between the two leaders.
Mr. President, the first congratulations the recent celebration of your 249th anniversary. We did at Liberia at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you with your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. Mm-hmm. And also we are committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We had a country that have had a series of democratic elections, and our country had been cooling down. And also we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in.
Yes, sir, master. Listen to his language. Listen to what he's saying carefully. It's like he's coming with the choreographed speech of begging. I pause to let you see, let you know. This is the type of leader that Africa has. There are very few of them that are different to this one. He said, we called you to get a survey of our minerals. What does that tell you? A man calls up his enemy and says, come and look at my house and tell me what you think of it. The enemy comes in and looks around his house and see all that he's got. And then he goes to the enemy and says, now, what do you think you want from my house? Is anybody listening? Are you listening?
In Liberia, we'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English.
Anyway, I didn't intend to make this video tonight. Serious. I didn't. But I hope you are paying attention to what's going on. Now, if you live in Liberia, when the youth of Liberia decide, you know what, this fool has to go. And he says, nope, I am not leaving. Just like Ruto. And they start to try to force him to get out. What are your plans? Are you safe? Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.